Hi, friends. Rusty back here at Meteo Mundo. It's very nice to see you on a late Tuesday. I hope you're doing well. Coming to you again from Missouri here remotely as we're visiting my wife's family. It is currently 44 degrees Fahrenheit here in the afternoon. That's less than 7 degrees Celsius. And yes, it was easily below freezing this morning, below 0 degrees Celsius. So chilly, but expected here in the United States Midwest. I hope you're having a good day. A lot to get into in this video. We actually have a lot of active weather across our region on this late Tuesday. Areas of very heavy rain and some flash flooding ongoing. We're going to talk about the potential development area again in the Western Caribbean. All eyes will still be on that and other areas a very impactful weather. Look, I know it's late November, but we're going to have a lot of tropical moisture in play for a good part of our area. That's going to bring some very heavy rain over the next several days. And there's a lot of areas with some pretty darn high winds as well. So let's get started as to what it looks like at the present time. Now, again, we don't have a low-level center of circulation in the Western Caribbean, but we do have an elongated area of rich tropical moisture along a trough line that extends north and east into the southeast Bahamas and the Turks and the Caicos. We have some really heavy rain going on right now in Jamaica. There's a flash flood watch that, as of I'm posting this video, it's going to basically be expiring or have already expired. But for Clarendon, Kingston, Portland, St. Andrews, St. Catherine, St. Mary's, St. Thomas, flash flood watch. Areas of extremely heavy rain in Jamaica. If you guys live there, let me know. Again, several inches of rain, 50 to 75 millimeters, and some higher, leading to some localized quick street flooding and a little bit of some landslide and mudslide issues as well. Scattered heavier rain for Haiti and the Dominican Republic. It's not as widespread as Jamaica, but we still have pockets of very heavy rain and the opportunity again for some, flood concerns there. Additional heavy rain right now, southeast Bahamas, Turks and the Caicos, that moisture feeding in from southwest to northeast. There is a severe weather watch for the southeast Bahamas and the Turks and the Caicos until 8 o'clock tonight. So look, it's not just heavy rain, but even a few thunderstorms down in the southeast Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos as well. Another area with very active weather is all the way down to the Windward Islands, Trinidad and Tobago. As a matter of fact, for those areas, you guys are under an adverse weather alert number 1 that's yellow all the way until 4 o'clock tomorrow. Very heavy rain in that area could lead to some urban flash flooding and even some landslide issues there. Additional heavy showers are developing in portions of Central America, Costa Rica, and Panama. These are areas that have been inundated with heavy rain as well. So big time flooding concerns as a possibility in those regions. So again, just a very active weather day in a lot of our area. We're going to get into the models right now, friends. And as we do so, again, real quick payback, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button for me right now. Thank you for subscribing to Meteo Mundo. And again, I appreciate you guys, keeping in touch with the channel as I'm doing this remotely as well. Look, a lot of positive comments in the last remote video that I did. A few that were negative, but look, it's the internet. I don't expect everything to be roses and unicorn farts, but this has been, an important trip for my family. Real quickly, my wife is from Missouri, and we met all the way back in 2006. We were both in television, worked at a TV station here in Missouri, and we both got out of television. I got out in 2023. My wife got out this year. This is the very first year since 2006 that she's been able to have Thanksgiving with her family here in Missouri, because we've been all across the country and with television having to work all of the holidays. So just an important trip for us to make. So I appreciate you guys sticking with me here, and we'll get into it. Let's start with what's going on with the models. We'll look at the GFS first. This is the rainfall over the next several days. First of all, again, you can see that broad area in the Western and the Central Caribbean. As I mentioned before, regardless of tropical development, rich tropical moisture, a lot of lift in the atmosphere, in a widespread shield of very heavy rain from portions of Central America, Costa Rica, Panama, the Caribbean coastlines of Nicaragua and Honduras. And by the way, Honduras has had some heavier rain lately as well. They've just had this little area of rain sitting over like places like San Pedro Sula and La Ceiba and Roatan and Guanaja and Utila. They'll continue with some spotty heavier rain, but the best chance for your excessive rainfall is going to be in the areas that I mentioned in Central America, Jamaica, portions of Haiti, maybe the Dominican Republic, eastern Cuba, southeast Bahamas, and the Turks and the Caicos. It's a pretty narrow sliver, as you can see, extending north and east. Cayman Islands could get some heavier rain. Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao could get some spottier showers. It's much less likely to get enough rain to cause any problems in Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin and British Virgin Islands and most of the Lesser Antilles, although rain chances will be somewhat higher. Then you get down into the Windward Islands and Barbados and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, even St. Lucia and Trinidad and Tobago and Grenada, all with the opportunity for some locally heavy rainfall the next few days. Again, very much more localized rather than the widespread rain that Jamaica could see, where the whole island could have issues with flash flooding. But just keep that in mind. Also for the Bahamas, we have ourselves near gale conditions that'll be going into effect for the next several days. Farther north and west, Belize up towards Quintana Roo, we're going to be a little bit drier. This is the GFS winds, okay, back down into the Southwest Caribbean. Again, you're going to see that spin, all right? But we never, at least here on this latest run of the GFS, get something truly strong low level to develop. There is still an opportunity that just north of the Panama-Costa Rica coastline, late tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, we do get enough of a low-level center circulation to spin up a tropical depression. It's not an outrageously high chance, but you can see how broad that wind field is, and there's just all of this moisture trying to spin around that on the eastern side of that Central American gyre. So it's just a really active weather pattern, regardless of tropical development in this area that I have on this map right now. But obviously, we're going to have the counterclockwise spin of the winds, and you can see that on this wind vector product here. So starting today through the weekend, you can just see it. Again, there's a void of wind right there off of those coastlines, and then you're going to have that north to northeast to east wind over Jamaica and the Dominican Republic and Haiti and Cuba, and that's a good surge of moisture. Winds will be freshening up for the ABC Islands as well. Then a north wind and a north-northeast wind for the Cayman Islands, western Cuba, and then back into the Gulf of Honduras as well. So again, just a pretty active pattern here. Still a chance, though, that we get some tropical activity. It's something I'm going to be monitoring. Notice that, if you look at my tone or listen to what I'm saying, I'm not overly concerned about it. But what I am concerned about is the amount of rain that could fall on this area. Still possible, though, to get ourselves a weak center of circulation. And you can see that on the GFS ensembles. Again, look far down. Now, this GFS is interesting. This is the same model run, but basically every other time frame, the GFS ensembles are picking up on areas of low pressure there in the Southwest Caribbean, but they're not strong and they're not persistent. So the GFS is really struggling with what to do with that broad center, that trough line, whether it's going to actually develop a low-level center. And you can see, again, as it just loops that, starting late tomorrow on Wednesday through Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and even into early Monday, there'll be blips, if you will, on the ensembles of trying to develop a low-level center, right? But obviously not a significant one. This is just a snapshot of late tomorrow on the European ensemble members, and you can clearly see off the Costa Rica, Panama coastlines, it's trying to develop a weak area of low pressure. Now, again, just like the GFS, it kind of comes back and forth as we get into Thursday and Friday. Nothing ever really significantly forms. And also notice, too, that none of these are lifting north at this point in time, so they're not trying to develop this and then push it closer to Jamaica and the Cayman Islands. I think if we get a low-level center to develop here, it's probably going to sit just off of the Central American coastline in the Southwest Caribbean, and that's no good because of the amount of rain that could fall over places like Panama and Costa Rica and Nicaragua and Honduras, and then spread some of that heavier rain north and east. But you're just talking about a lot of rain in these areas. Now, the European model overall still has it as about a 50 to 60% chance of tropical depression development. And again, right off of the coastline of Central America. Notice that there's not much of a north lift with that development area. So it's really keeping it kind of just centered into those spots. So I'll be watching that over the next couple of days. But the big story really will be the amount of rain that's going to fall. This is the European rainfall totals. And again, you're going to see a couple of areas to highlight. So first of all, we'll start off with the drier spots. Not expecting a lot of rain in the central and the northwest Bahamas. Little weak front comes in early next week to bring us some rain there. Southeast Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, especially the Turks and the Caicos. Pockets of very heavy rainfall are possible here. Again, let me know in the comments section below what you guys have been experiencing. But, look, 4 to 6 inches of rain, 100 to 150 millimeters is going to be pretty common in a lot of areas. Look at how much red that we're going to see. And again, you can just see that just kind of blowing up in the central and the western Caribbean as that trough, that potential lift and that low level center all just kind of sits. It doesn't really move over the next several days. So from the coastal areas of Honduras and Nicaragua to Panama and Costa Rica, we have to watch out for excessive rainfall. Flooding potential could be extreme if this pans out on the European model. You can see by the end, you're getting some whites and some purples there, and that's no good because that's more than 10 inches of rain or more than 250 millimeters in some spots. Also very concerned about my friends in Jamaica from time to time. Now we'll see again, it's all going to be dependent on if this low-level center forms and if it sticks around, but we have some excessive rainfall today. We could get more excessive rainfall tomorrow and potentially push that into the weekend if this decides to just sit in the southwest Caribbean. Not as concerned for the Cayman Islands, but scattered showers are possible there. Eastern sides of Cuba, Haiti and the Dominican Republic, Southeast Bahamas, Turks and Caicos. Those are the other spots of my main areas of concern for excessive rainfall. At least 4 inches of rain or 100 millimeters in a lot of those areas. More scattered for Puerto Rico and the U.S. and British Virgin Islands and much of the Lesser Antilles. So places like Anguilla, in Antigua and Barbuda, and St. Kitts and Nevis, and Montserrat, Guadeloupe, those areas, scattered rain. There is a trough coming in, which is why you're going to see in the Windward Islands, those areas of red pop up, but that trough is more significant there. So that's where I expect the potential for excessive rainfall. Again, Barbados, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, TNT. This is what I just talked about. Again, flash flood threat, main areas, Jamaica, Southeast Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, parts of Haiti and the Dominican Republic, eastern Cuba, Panama, Costa Rica, and then the coastal, that's the Caribbean coastlines of Nicaragua and Honduras. That would include the Bay Islands as well. Not overly as concerned as that far north and west, but it's not out of the question. And again, separate system, separate trough coming into the eastern Caribbean, where the Windward Islands could be plagued by some very heavy rain over the next few days as well. Sea conditions have been extremely elevated, guys. Boaters know that. First of all, again, gale conditions likely for the Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos. Watch out for some double-digit swells in the open waters of the Atlantic. We also have some high surf advisories for portions of the Lesser Antilles, especially the Leeward Islands. Also, the northern sides of Puerto Rico and the British and U.S. Virgin Islands as well. Rip current risk and high surf and high sea advisories there as well. Northern coastlines of Honduras and Haiti, Turks and Caicos. A little bit quieter right now in the Caribbean itself. Watch out for the thunderstorms, though. There's been some thunderstorm at sea warnings for southern Jamaica. So we'll monitor that. Again, severe weather watch for the Southeast Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos until 8 o'clock tonight. You've got the adverse weather alert number 1, the yellow for Trinidad and Tobago until 4 o'clock tomorrow. And this flash flood watch will be expiring as this video is posted for our friends in Jamaica, but the opportunity for more excessive rainfall late tonight and even for tomorrow and potentially even beyond that as well. Friends, I appreciate you guys. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. If you have a specific question about the forecast, feel free to drop it in the comments section below. While you're down there, thank you for liking and subscribing. Of course, you can follow us across all of social media, Instagram, TikTok, X, Facebook. You want to send me a picture or video, it's myMediaMundo@gmail.com. Hope you guys have a great rest of your Tuesday. The plan is to be back with another video for tomorrow to keep you updated on this excessive rainfall potential. And again, let me know in the comments how you guys have been faring. I appreciate that. Like and subscribe. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow right here at Media Mundo.